Hey everybody, it is September 24th. It's Wednesday. This is Off the Ledge. We get together daily. Well, I pre-record the video and then I upload it on the day. We have to maintain our focus. We have to maintain our activism. We had like a Helsinki moment. Just consider that honking punctuation mark. We had a Helsinki moment, long moment, yesterday, that's what I'm calling it, a Helsinki moment, where it was obvious to us that Donald J. Trump is an enemy of the United States of America, and he's also an enemy of the world. If anybody is like awake, anybody in this country is awake, they will realize that failure to rise up is not an option. Failure to act is not an option. Fascism is not an option. Having this embarrassment, and I think he embarrasses us deliberately. I think he knows what he's doing. He's that hateful. He's that hateful of the United States of America. Because you know why? Because Putin hates America. And so what he's trying to do is isolate us entirely, and he's succeeding at that. Jimmy Kimmel being back on the air part way was necessary. That in terms of we needed the inspiration. We haven't really experienced enough the fruits of our labor and our activism. But it is working. And so let's just hope and pray and intend and activate for more wins. Let's keep the pressure on Disney. Let's put the pressure on Sinclair. I remember that Sinclair was involved in all the Biden bashing that was going on last year. They heavy duty laid it on. I don't remember the specific story, but every single news outlet that people watch that we knew of, they're all under Sinclair, and they all were saying like verbatim the same thing, and it was a Biden bashing thing. So it's a conspiracy. It's a concerted effort to stifle our voices and to stop us from freely expressing. There's nothing more heinous to the human spirit than to tell people that their voice doesn't matter. This is what's made America, in the eyes of the rest of the world, till Trump, until he came along. This is what made America the envy of a lot of countries that don't have the luxury of being able to express freely. We were founded on that. Before we get into Ernest Holmes, I just want to say about, I know Kamala's book came out today. I have a viewer who gifted me, pre-ordered the book, so I have it right here downstairs, and I haven't read it yet. I just want to speak briefly to the Biden bashing. I want to live in a country where if somebody had a problem with somebody who was in government, that they extol the good, and then they can go on to say whatever could have been done better. Joe Biden saved our country from going into fascism in 2020. A lifelong public servant who wanted to run again before he was pushed out after that debate, which it's questionable to me what happened there, but we have looked at it. It wasn't all him. It wasn't all his fault. But anyway, he's a man who was when he was serving as a public servant, he was a true patriot. Joe Biden ended every single speech that he gave with, "And God protect our troops." He used to say repeatedly, "This is the United States of America. There's nothing that we cannot do. But more than that, I made 22 videos, 15 minutes each, back at the time that he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. And I went and I looked up what the Biden-Harris administration had achieved. The last thing that I remember that they were working on was making sure that we weren't burdened with junk fees from these corporate, greed-driven organizations, businesses. It will boggle your brain if you have the time to go back and read or listen to the Biden-Harris achievements. And we have really gone astray if when we think about Joe Biden, we think about anything other than he was doing the thing that he felt like was right, and he saved us from more and more deaths from COVID, and he saved us from collapsing into fascism in 2020, 2021. Now it's up to us. And I know this is a long screed to start with, but we're in a very serious, pivotal time. I'm not going to say for 1 second that I don't think that we'll save our democracy, because I do think that we do save our democracy. But let's stop the Biden bashing. Let's just... I started to listen to Joy Reid, and as soon as she brought up Joy Reid with Kamala, as soon as she brought up Biden and the debate, I turned it right off. I'm not going to subject myself to that. We've lost the plot if we're bashing Joe Biden. And by the way, I know I'm being really very verbose, but when he jumped into the ring to run for re-election, I don't remember anybody else jumping in. And I'll just leave that there. I don't remember anybody else jumping in. Somebody else could have jumped in and run for the Democratic ticket. Fit to be tight. Okay, Ernest Holmes. Our word is creative. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. We identify ourselves with the more abundant life. We think of those things that make for peace. We dwell in the unity that underlies all life. Because we are at peace and poised in the realization that we live in pure spirit, new power is born in us. Realizing that all power is ordained of God and maintained by the Spirit, and knowing that our word is the law of spirit in our life, we realize that our word is creative. Therefore, we speak that word in quiet confidence and with complete faith. There is no need or want or lack in our life, for our consciousness places no limitation on the divine givingness. We know that all our needs are fulfilled from that eternal source, the kingdom of God, which is ever present. Our desire is now fulfilled and our experience enriched, and that which we have we give. The one life within us is mighty to heal. We recognize that the divine spirit that flows through us is really the presence of love. And so it is. Let's say the protection prayer. Let's think about Kamala starting her book tour. Few people in the biz here are going. I'm not going, but she's in New York City tonight. I know they're going. So the light of God surrounds us. The presence of God protects us. The Spirit of God watches over us wherever we are. God is the divine that created us. And so it is. Thank you so much for joining me each day. I know there aren't a lot of views to Off the Ledge, but several of you have said it really helps a lot, so I will continue. And speaking of that sort of thing, I'm not really sure why people aren't watching Church of Spirituality in large numbers. It'll shift you. It will shift things. Even if you're feeling anxiety, it will shift things. By the way, those flowers behind me are real. I got them at a farm stand. They're so vibrant. Really impressed. Okay.
This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for September 24th, 2025. Today continues yesterday's communication energy and makes it very easy to get at the truth, to learn really important things about your life and yourself, and to transform. There is a giant pair of shoulders shoving you to go at the truth, to get at the truth, to get to the bottom of something really major. However, take care. Choose your battles wisely. And if you sense anything getting out of control anywhere near you, if you sense a hint of, I shudder to say the word, violence, get out of the way. That does not have to be your experience. That's all for now.
Ooh, that was ominous. Let's take time today to really get centered. We're still feeling the effects of the eclipse on Sunday, the fall equinox, Mars going into Scorpio. It's a very intense time. And it's like there's a lot of available energy to use. And we can use that energy to create with our thoughts that which we would like to see become manifest. Keep on doing it. I know a lot of you are, but I'm just saying, let's keep doing that. All right, 3 cards to guide us through today. It is Wednesday, generally lightly attended on Wednesday evening, our PNN, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Psychic News Network. Join us for our live stream. It's an opportunity for us to really feel us, feel that bond with one another. All right. Next week is October, if you can believe that. Wow. Okay, so what we're facing today is Donald Trump made an absolute fool out of the United States of America. He made us look so lost and so out of control and so off the rails. And so now we really have to let go of any sense that that's who we are. We have to let go of any sense that that's who we'll continue to be. Enough of that already. We're done. If this was another country where people were more politically active, there'll be millions of people on the streets today. But we're getting there. Listen to the inner voice. Be quiet and still. Receive your instructions. And let's oust this fool. We are letting go of the fool also. All right. So that's it for today. To book a session, psychic@dion.com. The readings are phone readings. If you need a psychic reading. And thumbs up and subscribe, please. And we'll see you soon. Namaste.